What's going on, everybody? It's that time again where I do evaluations. I'm looking back every roughly 30 days in this journey, an experiment, or whatever you want to call it, of streaming and how it progresses, things that I've learned, things that I've adapted to, things I've decided not to do, and goals and everything. Um, Initially, it started out last year with me again talking with a couple people, wanting to get a podcast going, and talking to a couple other friends who are actually streamers and figuring out what they're doing, and then ultimately coming down to, hey, is this something I can do? Can I create the content? Can I keep it interesting? Do I like to talk and meet people? Yes, yes, and yes. So we tried the podcast thing that started going really well. Um, I started streaming a little bit on Mixer, trying to figure things out. The hardest part was getting consistent. Am I streaming on these times? Am I getting up to the 3 hours? What are the things? Learning the ins and outs. And now I'm where I'm at. And that resulted in me, okay, now I'm ready to go to the next level. And so I need to make sure I put all my goals down on paper, short term, long term, how I'm going to make that happen. And that's what I want to walk you through here. Um, but as some of you don't know, I originally started streaming on Mixer. However, I decided to move to Twitch about 2 weeks ago. And I can honestly say the move was worth it. There's a few things. The reason that I moved off of Mixer is much smaller viewership. Everyone's leaving. I had a difficult time getting viewership when I was looking at games I was going to play. The video that's actually playing right below this one is gameplay of Trials of Mana for one of my streams. I stream on Monday and Wednesday on Twitch. It's around 7:30 p.m. Central, and this is from that. And within those 2 weeks, I spent almost 2.5 months on Mixer trying to get some followers, trying to understand their affiliate program, to see what I needed to do, where I needed to go, and it didn't get very far. Within 2 weeks of being on Twitch, I made affiliate, which was fantastic. Went really, really fast. Now it's starting to slow down. Um, and now it's going to be a matter of me being consistent, me being real, and me actually working on not just Twitch and not just Twitter, but also on my YouTube. I'm not going to try and branch out further than that. I am going to mention Discord in this, but I wanted to walk you guys through what I'm experiencing and the lessons I've learned. So, as you can see in my short-term goals, I want to get my Twitch actually, that shouldn't say 100. Oh yeah, that wasn't 100 followers on Twitch. I'm currently at, I believe, 72 or 73, 72, and I need to get that up to 100 is my next goal. And the reason for that is, um, until then, you can't use Stream Elements SE payment program, or SE Pay, and I have to use PayPal. Now, for those learning about all this stuff, PayPal takes a 30 cent or 35 cent transaction fee when someone makes a donation or subscribes or whatever. Well, I'm not sure that's separate. Makes a donation or anything. And so that can be there. But if they make the decision, the payee makes the decision 6 months from now, right before the reversal part, that I didn't mean to do that. PayPal will reverse those orders and then charge you as the streamer any fees, chargebacks, or anything. The SE payment is designed for streamers. PayPal is more for the viewers and the followers. So SE lowers the cost of transactions and actually helps protect you against chargebacks so it doesn't happen. I know that sounds really, really weird, but so that's my next goal. And then after I make 100 Twitch followers by June 1st, I want to go and push that out and try to start growing to 200. And I'll set those out in milestones in the next video. I want to get my YouTube to 100 subscribers. I think it's very realistic that I can get to 100 by August 1st. I started the year at 32. I think I'm currently 67 or 68 followers. I would really like to get to 100 and then start going from there. I would like to get from 350 followers on Twitter to 500. All these are building to certain things. I would like to go through the affiliate associates program from Amazon. However, and I did have that temporarily. However, what happened was they reviewed it and said, I don't have enough of a social media footprint to make that happen. And now, if I went to open up my Facebook, where I've got around 1,000 people, but those are mostly friends, family, and high school people I went to with. Yes, I'm old, but they're still around. I don't want to make my Facebook public that way. Not for that reason. So I'm going to stick with the goals here. And once I can get Twitter to 500, I will resubmit to have my my associates reviewed with Amazon, so I can get a little bit of a payout. It's not a big thing. Every little bit helps, and then go from there. So those are goals, and then you need to have those short-term goals to get to further down the road. So I've sent those up. I also made sure that I'm going to start taking Sundays off, which means I'm not going to be online. I might game with my kids or my wife, but I'm not going to be online. So I'm going to take every Sunday off. I got to make sure I spend quality time with my family. My wife has been super duper supportive of me on Mondays and Wednesdays being online and gaming, and she understands the commitment on that. She understands what's going on with Fridays for the podcast. It's a little more frustrating for her. But if I spend a lot of time doing stuff on Saturdays, and then if I bleed over into Sundays, yeah, she doesn't get too thrilled with that one. So I've got to make sure I balance time between work, the day job, to remain gainfully employed and provide for my family, put a roof over the head, food on the table, power, and all that other stuff. So I got to make sure I do that, put my family first. At no time will my family, or should my family, ever suffer from my hobby to try and make this into something that's a career, nor should my career, my day job, suffer from this as well. So putting that family in prioritization. The other thing, an aspect of it, going back to Twitter, is I really struggled for the last month or so trying to determine if I want to open up my Twitter or make a new Twitter that's for my games, the gaming side of me. Well, no, I decided that that's not going to happen. People on Twitter need to understand that who I am is a cybersecurity guy and a gamer. And there's a mix between the two. There's been stories about cybersecurity turning to games and some other development platforms to look for a diversified talent pool, to look for other things. There's news stories all the time about compromised credentials, like Nintendo's 160,000 a couple weeks ago. Sony, Xbox, all these guys. It's always in the news. So whether we want to believe it or not, there is cybersecurity elements inside of gaming and inside of streaming. Not even if you're streaming and you're not even just gaming, you're streaming something else like art or teaching or anything. There's always going to be some aspect of security involved. So my passion, my goal, and I really get fired up is when those two worlds merge. So I decided to make sure I leave my Twitter one world. Now, fast forward, and you're reading down here on the screen, if you're looking along with me, long term, yes, I do want to become a Twitch partner. There are some people like, I'm just doing this for the fun. I would like to make a partner. By that, it's not so much to be looked at as a partner, but is to say, yes, I worked really, really hard. I set a goal, and I made that goal happen. Is it a realistic goal? I decided to make it a 1-year point from what I made affiliate. No, I'm not putting Twitter affiliate in my Twitter handle, or Twitch affiliate in my Twitter handle. Not happening. But so May 1st, and so I'm giving myself a year from that date to make a partner. Is that realistic? I have no idea. Is it going to be a lot of work and consistency? Yeah, I'm going to have to be streaming every Monday and Wednesday to make sure, getting in the podcast, making sure that's working, learning how to edit and create thumbnails and videos and all that stuff so that my content is solid, creative, and presented in such a manner that it's not just regurgitated boredom. Okay? So yeah. And then I set the YouTube goal, 2,500. Is that realistic in a year? I have no idea. YouTube has been the hardest one, I think, to grow, just because I'm not sure why, because, we don't show up a lot on searches and you have to build your way up. So you have to do other things to get your YouTube to grow, which is why I'm using Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Those three together, hopefully to grow each other. And then I'm throwing in Discord. Right now, we have roughly 100 plus members inside of our Discord at GMD Geek Gamer. Only about 20 of them are really active. So I'd really like to see that get more and more involved. I'd like to see more dialogue happening, drive more discussion around gaming, what games are coming out, what platforms are coming out, what streaming technologies are coming out, and really start to foster that and word of mouth to get those out there. So I set a goal for 2,500 members in Discord. all within a year. I think all of these are very, very realistic. Um, and at that point, I didn't put Twitter on here. Maybe let's add it. Let's see. Let's um, earn. What do you think? 1,500 followers? No, let's go ahead and do 2,500 followers on Twitter by May 1st, 2021. Okay. Now, that's it. Someone did ask, am I going to set up a Patreon? I am not going to even consider that at this time, only after I reach the above goals. I have nothing to offer right now if I set up a Patreon. Okay. I want to make sure that I provide valuable content. I have defined my branding and I've proven that I can be consistent before I even think about that. So if I do, and when I am successful at this in a year, and I open up a Patreon, should I do so, I have something that's there. I can bring a community over and have more than one or two people, but you know how that goes. I have not even thought about all of that. I want to make sure that I've built everything correctly. So then I wrote down, how am I going to make this happen? Well, I got to make goals and I got to write them down. And I got to plan my work and work my plan. Okay. So I got to ask myself some questions, and this might sound boring to some of you guys, but these are things that I've learned over the last 3.5 months to help me refocus and grow. Okay. Are my accounts set to public so I'm a discoverable person? Before I went to Twitch, that was no. My Instagram, I wasn't even using Instagram properly. Well, actually, when I went to Hootsuite made me really reflect on the fact that I had my Facebook and my Instagram were set to private, and I wasn't leveraging them at all. I was just relying on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So I set up Instagram. I went to Hootsuite, which is made for streamers. It's like $29 a month, but it lets me do social media management from one window for all those other platforms at one time, formats it and everything. It's a really great service and gives me analytics. So I made sure I was able to be discoverable. Is my name easy to see? And I wanted to review my logo. I have a good, decent started logo, but is it who I am? Do I want it to be better? I needed to separate part of the logo from the GMD Geek from the actual headphones. And this. So those that don't know, the headphones with the C and the G in the side of them, that's actually my name, my wife's name, my son's name, and my daughter's name, the first initials of all those mixed in. So GGCC. My wife used to write it down, GC squared. But evolved with that. So we're looking at a couple different aspects for improving that, because I need to make sure that it's memorable and it's going to stand out and it's not cartoony. I don't want a cartoony logo. So I've been looking at all that stuff. And then I look at, who am I following on Twitter and Twitch? Is it the same audience that I'm after? Am I just clicking for this? In CyberSecurity on Twitter, I follow a lot of CyberSecurity guys, and I started following some gamers. And so I got to make sure that I'm making that balance there and making sure that I'm following who's inside the realm that I want to go in. Because otherwise, it's just one of those things that may or may not make sense to me. I want to make sure that I grow to stay true to who I am and not deviate from that. I'll be flexible, but I got to be me. And at the end of the day, if I'm not me, then I'm not going to have fun. And then it'll be something I get burnt out on. So I've got to make sure that I'm making content that is fun and keeps it real for me. Have I established a brand? Yes, we were just talking about being true to who I am. Do I need to improve my photos, videos, and thumbnails and graphics? Yes. So I signed up for what used to be called Lindia. It's now LinkedIn Learning. I got a whole bunch of training videos. I'm going to be using DaVinci Resolve, Affinity Photo, Designer and Publisher. By the way, I'll put a link on it down below in the description. Affinity has 50% off all their stuff right now. So instead of $150, you can get the whole 3 suites, all 3 of them, for $75. Now, I would put this stuff on par with anything you can get from like Photoshop and Creative Labs. It's really decent software that's really not that hard to use, and it's not a monthly fee. It's not a reoccurring yearly fee. You purchase, you got it, you're good to go. I'm really getting tired of software as a service fees. It's really annoying as crap. Okay. So when they brought this out, and it's a really solid platform, I loved it, and I've been learning all about it. Am I good with it yet? Probably not as good as I could be. Same with DaVinci Resolve, which I will be using for photo or video editing and bringing in graphics and overlays as I learn all that stuff. Until then, I'm using the Windows Movie Maker Classic version, which you can still get in Windows 10. If you want to know how to do that, I'll make a video. Just let me know in the comments below. And I'm looking at some thumbnail maker macros. There's a lot of cheap, stupid ones out there that I wouldn't bother with. The security guy and me checked through on them. Like there's one like something called Blaster or something thumbnail blaster, don't even bother. It's really laden with costs. They hide it and everything. So I don't know. Anyways, those are software. So yes, I have to improve on my ability to be able to generate eye-catching graphics. Because the way you might not know, on YouTube, you got your search titles, but I'm not doing gimmicks. I'm not going to do clickbait because I do not want to be known or branded as somebody that's a clickbait person. And there might be 2 minutes in my video on the topic or 30 seconds on the topic, that the clickbait in my title, and then another 10 to 12 minutes about nothing related to it. So I got to avoid that as much as possible. Make sure that I have the hashtags, identifying who I am, define my brand, define what I'm trying to do in my message, and then go get the list, like a static list of appropriate hashtags for YouTube. So when you're getting searched for Twitch, all this other stuff, you put the correct hashtags in. And don't use one that's so generic that everybody in the world is using it, because then all of a sudden you kind of bury yourself. So learn about hashtagging, get the right ones, get the ones that aren't, is it enough? Is it too many? Is it too popular? Is it not popular? Find out what's working for you. Use those to your advantage. So when people are searching, it helps them to discover you. All right. And again, be flexible. Look at your analytics. YouTube has them. Twitter has them. Twitch has them. If you're using a program like Hootsuite, that has you a whole bundled up set of analytics. Don't be afraid to go look at that stuff. There's other sites out there like, what is it called? Twitch Tracker. Okay, you can go look at how you're doing on Twitch. You can go to Social Blade for YouTube, things like that. Go see what's trending. Go see what works for you. Go find somebody that's doing the similar things to you, what they're doing that you might. Now, don't copy them, but try to adapt so you can find your niche and find that thing where you're going to grab an audience. And then the other thing I have to make sure to remind you, and it's really difficult, I'm learning how to do it better. I can play games for hours on end, but streaming and gaming at the same time and making sure I'm talking throughout that time, making sure I'm engaging my audience, it's a little more difficult. 3 hours right now seems to be about my limit, and I'm working on that. So you set up and then schedule. So we're going to come to the next one. Mondays and Wednesdays, my streaming schedule. I'm going to stick to that. Seems to be working. YouTube videos, I'm going to work on those on Tuesdays, and I'll have them scheduled to go upload and live on Thursday. And then if I do more than one video, then I might do another one scheduled to upload on Saturday. Scheduling everything so I'm consistent on my time and my upload. So people will know, hey, on Thursdays at this time, he's going to have an upload video. It's going to be there. On Saturdays, if he does a second video, it'll be there. Get consistent so people can know when to expect it. People like consistency. Every 60 days, I'm going to review my stuff. I'm going to review where I'm at. Right now, I'm kind of doing every 30 days. But every 60 days, it'll be a very deep dive thing, seeing what can I do to change what I'm doing. Balance my time, not sacrifice time with my family, not sacrifice time with my work. Balance my time so I don't get burnt out. Be consistent, okay? That is the key. Again, we're going to, balance the brand, get a community, start building that so they know who I am. They have a trust in me. There's a building relationship of trust, going back and forth. Be consistent. I'm not going to be one of those guys that just plays a different game every time the stream comes up. I have a really tough time connecting with it because I can't tell if that's the same interest or anything. So I'm going to pick a couple games. I've already know the ones I'm going to be playing for the rest of this year. I'm going to map those out, let people know that. When I tweet things out, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm live now. Please come watch my stuff. I don't want to beg for that. I'm going to let people know I'm going live. I'm going to let them know what I'm playing. I'm going to let them know what I plan to talk about that night. Generate some interest and hopefully bring in the viewers that I would like to engage with, and then hopefully grow that community. And as that community grows, have more interaction, more chatting, more talking, and invite people into a Discord voice channel, all this other stuff. See where that takes me. And again, it's just balancing all the content. Make sure it identifies with me. Make sure it's all this stuff. And then going in, and Twitter, you have a bio page. Instagram, you have one. On YouTube, you have one. On all these platforms you do, make sure it clearly defines who you are. Define who you are. Do the about me. Get the clear introductions. Give people something to bite into. Let it be interesting. Like one of the things I'm working on now is a trailer video for Twitch. Probably won't have that ready until this weekend. Again, we talked about hashtags and learning. So that's where I'm at right now. If anybody has questions about what I'm trying to do. The biggest one for me is struggling when I make these videos is keeping them under 20 minutes. I am going to hit 20 minutes on this one easy. But learning and getting better. That's where I'm at right now. Hopefully my goals seem realistic and I can make them happen. If you guys would love to help make that happen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for this. Go hit me up on Twitter and go look up on Twitch. I hope the videos bring some sort of level of value to everyone. They're entertaining. I hope they're entertaining at the least, and provide some knowledge. Because like the last stream I did, we talked about, we did Trials of Mana, and then we talked about OBS and setting some configurations. Took a break out from the game to walk a couple people through how to use overlays and OBS and all this. So hopefully, as we go through all this, I get better, and it's going to be a community effort. So I really do appreciate everyone that takes their time to watch this and to support and even provide feedback. Leave it for me, the questions, comments down below. Go hit me up on the Discord. Again, hit me up on Twitter. I would love to get some feedback. I would love to earn you guys' trust and to be able to grow and find out what I can do and what's working, what's not working, and what you guys would like to see more of. Anyways, I appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. The response that I've seen growing just the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal, and I couldn't have done any of this without you guys' support. So it's greatly appreciated, and I look forward to talking with you guys more and providing more content of value. And until then, you guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to you later.